Hey there! We're so excited to share today's video with you on our channel. Have you ever stopped to wonder how a tiny seed can grow into a big, leafy plant or even a giant tree that towers above buildings? It almost feels like magic when you watch it happen, but behind that magic is real science. Plants are all around us, providing food, oxygen, medicine, shade, and beauty. Without them, life on Earth simply wouldn't exist. But how exactly do they grow? What allows a little seed to push through the soil and transform into something so complex and alive? In this guide, we're going to explore the fascinating process of how plants grow, explained step by step in the simplest way possible. We'll learn about seeds, roots, stems, leaves, flowers, and the incredible process called photosynthesis that keeps the whole cycle going. By the end, you'll not only know the stages of growth but also understand why plants are so important to life on Earth. So, let's dive into the world of plants and uncover their secrets. Seeds, the starting point. Every plant begins with a seed. A seed may look small, dry, and lifeless, but inside it holds the blueprint for a new life. At the very heart of the seed is a tiny baby plant called an embryo. This embryo is made up of a small root, a shoot, and the beginnings of the first leaves. Surrounding the embryo is a supply of stored food, often in the form of starch, which the seed uses as fuel during its early growth. All of this is wrapped inside a protective outer shell known as the seed coat. When the right conditions arrive, warmth, water, and sometimes light, the seed begins a process called germination. The seed coat softens, allowing water to soak in. The embryo wakes up from its dormant state, and the first changes begin to appear. A root pushes downward into the soil, anchoring the plant and beginning to absorb water. At the same time, a small shoot grows upward, searching for sunlight. This is the plant's very first step toward life above the ground. Seeds come in many shapes and sizes. Some are tiny, like the seeds of orchids, while others are large and packed with nutrients, like coconut seeds. But no matter their size, they all serve the same purpose: to give life to a new plant. Roots, the anchors once the seed sprouts. Roots are the first structures to take hold. Roots act like the foundation of a building. They keep the plant stable and upright in the soil. But they do much more than that. Roots absorb water and minerals from the ground, which are essential for the plant's survival. Think of roots as drinking straws that pull in what the plant needs. Tiny root hairs extend from the main root, increasing the surface area and allowing the plant to take in even more water and nutrients. These nutrients, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, are like vitamins that help the plant grow strong and healthy. There are two main types of root systems. One is the taproot system, where a single thick root grows deep into the soil. Carrots, radishes, and dandelions are great examples of taproots. The other is the fibrous root system, which spreads out into many thin roots. Grasses and wheat have fibrous roots that help prevent soil erosion. Roots also act as storage units. Many plants store food in their roots in the form of starch. That's why we can eat foods like potatoes, beets, and sweet potatoes. They are swollen roots packed with nutrients. Without roots, plants would struggle to stand upright and would not be able to get the water and minerals they need. Stems, the transport system. After the roots are established, the stem becomes the plant's lifeline. The stem is like a highway system, carrying water and nutrients upward from the roots to the leaves. It also transports food produced in the leaves back down to other parts of the plant. Inside the stem are special tissues that act like pipelines. Xylem tissues carry water and minerals upward, while phloem tissues carry sugars and nutrients downward. This two-way system ensures every part of the plant gets what it needs. But stems do more than transport. They also hold the plant upright, helping leaves stretch toward sunlight. In small plants, stems are green and flexible. In trees, the stem becomes a trunk, thick, strong, and woody. Tree trunks not only support massive branches but also protect the pipelines inside. Some stems are even modified to store food, just like roots. Examples include ginger and sugarcane, which store energy within their stems. The stem is the backbone of the plant, keeping everything connected and supported. Leaves, the powerhouses. Leaves are often called the powerhouses of the plant, and for good reason. This is where the plant makes its food through photosynthesis. Leaves come in many shapes and sizes: broad like a banana leaf, needle-like pine leaves, or tiny like clover. But no matter the shape, they all serve the same main function: capturing sunlight. The surface of a leaf is covered with a waxy layer called the cuticle, which helps prevent water loss. Inside the leaf, there are tiny green structures called chloroplasts. These chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, the pigment that gives leaves their green color. Chlorophyll is like a solar panel, it absorbs sunlight and uses it to power photosynthesis. Leaves also have small openings called stomata, usually on their underside. These tiny pores open and close to allow carbon dioxide to enter and oxygen to exit. Water vapor also escapes through the stomata, a process known as transpiration, which helps cool the plant and pull water upward through the stem. Without leaves, plants would have no way to make their food, and life on Earth would lose one of its most important oxygen producers. Photosynthesis explained. Now let's talk about photosynthesis, the process that makes plants truly unique. It may sound like a big scientific word, but it's actually simple once you break it down. Photosynthesis is how plants use sunlight to make their own food. Here's how it works step by step. The roots absorb water from the soil. The leaves take in carbon dioxide from the air through the stomata. The chlorophyll in the chloroplast captures energy from sunlight. Using this sunlight energy, the plant combines water and carbon dioxide to create glucose, a type of sugar. This glucose is the plant's food, which it uses for energy and growth. As a byproduct of photosynthesis, oxygen is released into the air. So the basic formula looks like this: sunlight plus water plus carbon dioxide, glucose plus oxygen. This process is the foundation of life on Earth. Plants feed themselves through photosynthesis, but they also feed us and animals by producing oxygen and providing food. Every breath we take is possible because plants are constantly photosynthesizing. Flowers, fruits, and seeds. The reproduction cycle. Once a plant grows strong enough, many of them begin to produce flowers. Flowers are not just beautiful, they are essential for reproduction. Each flower contains special structures that allow it to create seeds. Flowers often attract pollinators like bees, butterflies, birds, and even bats. These creatures carry pollen from one flower to another, helping plants reproduce. When pollination occurs, fertilization takes place, and seeds begin to form. Seeds are often protected inside fruits. Apples, berries, oranges, and nuts are all examples of fruits that carry seeds inside them. The fruit not only protects the seed but also helps spread it. When animals eat fruits, they carry the seeds to new places, allowing plants to grow in new areas. This cycle of pollination, seed formation, and seed dispersal ensures that plants can continue their species generation after generation. The life cycle of a plant can be summarized in a simple but powerful pattern. It starts with a seed. The seed germinates, sending down roots and sending up a shoot. The plant grows leaves, stems, and branches, developing into a mature plant. When ready, it produces flowers. Those flowers lead to fruits, which contain seeds. The seeds are dispersed, and the cycle begins again. Seed sprout, plant, flower, fruit, seed again. This endless cycle has been happening for millions of years, ensuring that our world remains green, alive, and full of oxygen. And that's how plants grow, from tiny seeds to towering trees, powered by roots, stems, leaves, and the incredible process of photosynthesis. Plants don't just grow for themselves, they keep the entire planet alive. They provide food for humans and animals, release oxygen into the air, store carbon, and even shape our climate. Without plants, there would be no forests, no fruits, no vegetables, and no breathable air. So the next time you see a flower blooming or a tree stretching toward the sky, remember the amazing science behind it. From seed to sprout, from leaf to flower, every stage of growth is a miracle of nature. If you enjoyed learning about how plants grow, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more fun and simple explanations of the world around us. And tell me in the comments, what's your favorite plant, and why? Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of plants, and I'll see you in the next video.